Hello mathematicians, thank you for joining me again today as we look at some matrix operations. That is, we're going to look at some multiplication of matrices, we're going to look at scalar multiplication, we're going to look at addition and combining these so that we can find what this times this plus this times this is going to be. In order to work through this problem, I'm not going to try to do everything at once, so I'm going to do it one piece at a time. The first piece I'm going to pick out is the easier of the pieces, and that is I'm going to take 3 times the matrix 5, 3, negative 6. So remember, if we're multiplying a matrix by a scalar, what we do is we just multiply each of the terms by that number. So what this becomes is 3 times 5, 3 times 3, and 3 times negative 6. So I end up with the new column matrix, 15, 9, negative 18. So now that we have that piece completed, we'll go back to the other piece, and we'll bring this back when we're done. We're now ready to multiply the two matrices, and so as we multiply these matrices, the first thing we want to know is what is the resulting matrix going to look like. So in order to do that, we're going to find the size of these, and this is 3 rows by 3 columns, so it's 3 by 3. The second one is 3 rows by 1 column, so it's 3 by 1. And what we notice is that when we're multiplying matrices, we need the number of columns in the first to be the same as the number of rows in the second, otherwise the multiplication won't be defined. Since they are the same number, we have their multiplication is defined, and we're going to end up with a matrix which has the number of rows from the first matrix and the number of columns from the second matrix. So what we're going to end up with is a 3 by 1 matrix. So we'll end up with another column matrix. And so in order to find each of these entries, what we're going to do is we're going to take rows of the first matrix times columns of the second matrix. So that is, if I want to find the entry in the first row, first column, I'll have to take the first row times the first column. And as I do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to line these up so that multiply the first entries times the first entry, second times the second, and third times the third. So what I'd like to do is either turn both of these into rows or both of these into columns. So I'll use columns here. I'll get 2, negative 1, 3, times 2, 3, 2. And so I'll take the first, second, and third, multiply together. So 2 times 2 is 4. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And what I end up doing is I have to add these all up. So 4 plus negative 3 is 1, plus 6 is 7. So the entry in the first row, first column, my resulting matrix, is going to be 7. Now, I can do the same thing again to find the second row, first column, and the third row, first column. So I'm just going to change these numbers. So as I look at the second row, I have that my number would be 5, 1, negative 2. So if I multiply those, I get 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 3 is 3. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. So if I add those together, I get 10 plus 3 is 13, minus 4 is 9. So the entry in the first row, or second row, first column, is going to be 9. Now for the third row, I'm going to take the third row times the first column, and I'm going to get 2, 2, 3. So 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 2 is 6. And if I add those together, I get 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 6 is 16. So my third row, first column, and resulting matrix is going to be 16. So I end up with the matrix 7, 9, 16. Now that I've calculated both of those parts, I know that this product is going to be this matrix, this is going to be this matrix. So now what I have to do is I have to add those two. Now remember that when we're adding, we add component-wise, so we have to make sure these are the same size. Since these are both 3 by 1 matrices, I can add them and I'll end up with a 3 by 1 matrix. So now, in order to find each of the entries, I just take, well, first row, first column, plus first row, first column. 7 plus 15 is 22. 9 plus 9 is 18. And 16 minus 18 is negative 2. So, as I complete that, what I realize is that this times this plus 3 times this is equal to the sum of these two matrices. If I add them together, I end up with the resulting 3 by 1 matrix 22, 18, negative 2. Thank you for watching. As always, I hope you learned something today, and I hope you enjoyed the process along the way. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me to know which videos are helpful, and it helps other people to find these videos so that they can also get help. Thank you.